It appears that Diddy is facing a significant downfall, and it seems that this time it will be permanent. A recently obtained video shows him physically assaulting Cassie, which is highly inappropriate, although she had mentioned in her interview that Diddy was harsh and physically abusive towards her. The extent of his behavior was nonetheless shocking and unexpected. To provide context, last year, Cassie filed a lawsuit against Diddy alleging various instances of inappropriate conduct. She asserted that he purportedly assaulted her, verbally abused her, exploited her by involving her with other individuals, pursued her persistently, and made threats towards her, among other allegations. In the complaint, she presented all the details and issued a statement expressing her readiness to share her story and advocate for herself and other women who experience violence in their relationships after enduring years of quiet and suffering. Nevertheless, Diddy's legal representatives vehemently criticized her and alleged that she was attempting to extort money from Diddy and engage in blackmail. According to his lawyer, Mr. Combs strongly denies these rude and ridiculous accusations. For the past 6 months, Mr. Combs has been exposed to Ms. Ventura's repeated demand of $30 million under the threat of writing a harmful book about their relationship, which was clearly rejected as blatant blackmail. Despite dropping her initial threat, Ms. Ventura has now resorted to bringing a lawsuit replete with unsubstantiated and absurd claims intending to damage Mr. Combs' name and demanding a payout. An attempt was made to portray Cassie as a person who is primarily interested in acquiring wealth and as a resentful former partner who is pursuing Diddy's money due to her own lack of success in her career. But what they didn't comprehend was that Cassie had the people behind her. There had been stories for a long time about how Diddy wasn't exactly a wonderful person and how harsh he was behind the scenes, and Cassie's lawsuit basically verified that. She had a lot to say about how Diddy handled her, and she cited so many examples. The court filing alleged that he said Ms. Ventura in her own house after she sought to leave him, often punched, kicked, and stomped on Ms. Ventura, resulting in bruises, burst lips, black eyes, and blood. Forced Ms. Ventura to engage in personal actions with male subs while getting off on it and documenting the experiences. Demanded that Ms. Ventura to carry his handgun in her purse merely to make her uncomfortable and display how dangerous he is, and led Ms. Ventura to a lifestyle of excessive alcohol and substance use and required her to get illicit prescriptions to satisfy his own addiction. She stated that he had unlimited control over her and he would put paws on her for every tiny nuisance. The lawsuit goes on to describe several situations that he put paws on her, like the time they were on their way home. After attending a party with Jay-Z, Mr. Combs misbehaved repeatedly in an escalade, including by kicking and striking her. He forced her out of the vehicle on 5th Ave in New York City. She was eventually able to grab a cab and get to her residence in Manhattan. There's also the moment when Cassie spoke to a music management in hopes of her improving her career. It was only a casual talk in a club, but Diddy got so upset that after he left the club, Mr. Combs beat Ms. Ventura, forcing her into a corner of the vehicle and stamping on her face. When the automobile arrived at Mr. Combs' residence, Ms. Ventura attempted to get away, but Mr. Combs pursued her and continued to again kick her in the face. Ms. Ventura was bleeding severely and was escorted into Mr. Combs' home, where she began to throw up from the traumatic encounter. She also detailed a time when he put paws on her at the Intercontinental Hotel in Century City, Los Angeles in 2016. According to the court records, in or around March 2016, during a FO at the Intercontinental Hotel in Century City, Los Angeles, Mr. Combs became excessively intoxicated and punched Ms. Ventura in the face, inflicting her a black eye. After he fell asleep, Ms. Ventura tried to leave the hotel room, but as she exited, Mr. Combs awakened and began yelling at Ms. Ventura. He followed her into the corridor of the hotel while cursing at her. He grabbed at her and then took glass vases in the hallway and flung them at her, causing glass to smash around them as she rushed to the elevator to escape. When Diddy saw how much damage this was bringing to him, he elected to settle the lawsuit one day after she filed. However, he still maintained his innocence, and his counsel published a statement claiming a choice to settle a lawsuit, especially in 2023, is in no way an admission of wrongdoing. Mr. Combs' choice to settle the complaint does not in any way weaken his flat-out denial of the charges. He is delighted they come to a mutual conclusion and wishes Ms. Ventura the best. Well, it turns out that this was a huge fat lie, since film recently broke of the incident in issue, and it is far worse than how Cassie phrased it. In the leaked footage, which was posted by CNN, Cassie was attempting to flee away from him. She made it as far as the elevator before Diddy came running in the hallway with only a towel tied around his waist, and he started to lay his hands on her heavily, dragging her on the floor in the hallway back to her room. Girl, I'm not kidding when I say that Diddy needs to be under the jail. It's even more devastating when you observe that Cassie didn't even try to fight back. She just laid there and took it, letting him do anything he wanted to her and curled up to shield her head and stomach. It's evident that this wasn't the first time that he put his hands on her that manner. Even sadder, Cassie's complaint showed that when she managed to break away from him on that occasion, she nevertheless went back to the hotel to apologize to him because she was scared of what he might do to her when they were in private. She stated she managed to get into the elevator, and when she got to the lobby, swiftly took a cab to her flat. Upon realizing that her going away would cause Mr. Combs to be even furious with her and utterly locked in his terrible cycle of abuse, Ms. Ventura returned to the hotel with the purpose of apologizing for running away from her maltreatment. When she returned, hotel security staff persuaded her to get back into the cab and go to her apartment, implying that they had seen the video film showing Mr. Combs abusing Ms. Ventura and hurling glass at her in the hotel hallway. She also said that he bribed someone in the hotel for the footage of the incident since he knew quite well and good what would happen if it were ever exposed. The document said upon information and belief, Mr. Combs gave the Intercontinental Century City $50,000 for the hallway security footage from that evening. Y'all want to know the insane thing about this? It's alleged after this, while Cassie was mending from the bruises in private, Diddy threatened her to come back to him or he would ruin her career. He also dispatched people to threaten her to return to him. She said following this, Miss Ventura left her home in Comstock and went to conceal at a friend's home in Florida. James Cruz, head of Bad Boy Management, tracked Ms. Ventura down and told her that her single would not be published if she did not answer Mr. Combs' phone calls. A woman who worked at Sony Music reached out to her with a similar ultimatum concerning her record. Incredibly, Mr. Combs even induced one of his attorneys to call Ms. Ventura at this time. This lawyer instructed Ms. Ventura that it's in your best interest to call Mr. Combs back. Each time Ms. Ventura tried to run away, Mr. Combs and his formidable network would force her back to him. It's really crazy how much chutzpah this man has, threatening to ruin her after he put paws on her and she bolted for her life. But if there is one positive about this issue, it's that the FBI is now undertaking some inquiry into him in addition to the continuing case by Homeland Security. So let's just say that Diddy is in a tight mess that he isn't going to recover from quickly. Fans wrote, if this is what Diddy was doing to Cassie outside of their private home and room, I can't fathom anything else she endured. Lock him the F up right now. Cassie and Diddy were together for nearly 11 years. We'll never truly know the extent of what that monster put her through. And if Diddy was acting like way in public, can you imagine how brutal he was to Cassie and other survivors behind closed doors? Absolutely terrible. What a horrible beast. This is dreadful. But drop your ideas in the comments and then check out this following video.